Hey guys, this is Chris Bate with Cheat the Game. Today I'm taking a look at Max Payne 3. I had an individual ask me a question in regards to how I found infinite ammo for every single gun in the game when he's having to hack out every single gun to find the ammo values. Well, actually, in that regard, is that each individual gun pretty much has its own address. However, ammo codes basically, the guns will bounce off the same exact operation code to get their ammo values, and that's possibly what you're getting into. So you said you were having a little trouble with Max Payne 3. I know that you're probably new to this, and I'm going to put a link in the description, and this is for anybody. If you're new to this, you kind of get lost, because like I said, I am going to go through some of these things quickly, because I have been over and over and over a lot of this stuff on vids on my channel. Also on Sneaky Mofo's channel, he gives basics all the way to advanced lessons in Cheat Engine. I want to put the link in the description to that. I'm also going to put a link in the description to the Cheat Engine website, where they give a basic analogy of assembly, or basic instruction on assembly, things of that nature. Radian has also provided a great tutorial at Cheat Engine website for beginners. I encourage you to go check it out, go read through it. Also, I want to say, up here, if you look up here in the help section of Cheat Engine, is a Cheat Engine tutorial. If you have not been through that, I thoroughly recommend that you do that. This gets you introduced to Cheat Engine and its functions, but also it gives you the core basics on game hacking, and you really need to have a good understanding of each lesson on here. Now, finding pointers manually, I don't see that as being the end all and be all to game hacking, but it's good to know how to do that. But most of everything in this tutorial, you definitely want to be able to know what you're doing, know exactly what's going on and how to do it, because you can't really go in and hack any. If you can't beat this tutorial, you're going to be lost in most games, especially these newer games coming out, 64-bit games. There's just no way. So I would thoroughly recommend that you go do this Cheat Engine tutorial, master that tutorial before you even start diving into more serious game hacking. Okay, but what we're going to do here is I'm going to find infinite health, I'm going to find infinite ammo, and we're just going to go from there, and I'm going to explain everything. We are going to be using AOB injection for this, so I'm going to explain every little nuance, and that's what we're going to do. So I apologize if the video is a little bit long, but like I say, it's an instructional vid, and you just can't teach anything in 3 minutes. So let's get to it. You want to talk about my shit luck for a second? Recorded about 20 minutes worth of stuff, and I accidentally hit the delete button. I was like, oh man. That's my luck up one side and down the other. A few other choice words on top of it, but we won't get into that. So for take 2, we're going to go ahead and do this all over again. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and find the infinite ammo, and I'm going to do it like I don't know what it's going to be, because when I first recorded, I didn't know what it was going to be, so I'm going to do the exact same thing again. So make sure that your Cheat Engine is attached to the game. We're going to go to it, click on story and continue. Should start us right there at the beginning, hopefully. Yep, it does. Good. Now, I've been having a driver issue also. It's been crashing the game, so I did download a new drivers from NVIDIA for my GTX 960 SSC. So hopefully that will solve the crash problem. If not, we're just going to have to deal with the crashing. That's just the nature of the beast. That's how it goes. So just, bear with me if this continues to happen. But let's go ahead and try to find our ammo. Alright, as you can see down here, we have some numbers. Now this number 15 here is definitely our ammunition. Okay, so what we're going to do is we don't know if it's on a 4-byte, we don't know if it's on a float, so we're just going to search for exact value. Let me make sure I have that re-put in there. Sorry about that. Let me clear the list. I don't want to confuse anybody. That's what I did during my previous recording. Let's try that again. And just go ahead and let it do its search. So let's go ahead and alright, so we burnt 2 bullets, so we're down to 13. We're going to click next scan. And most of you should know how to do this already. This should be old stuff. We want to burn another bullet. Go down to 12. And you see we have a lot of the same code if you look at that. Now we're going to try all the 4-bit values because it is on a 4-byte. Now we have an internal code, we have display codes. The definition of display is it's the displays that you see. Like you see that number 12 that we've been looking at, that's actually a display value. There are probably other display codes within the game as well. Display codes always receive their information from the internal code. The internal code controls all the display values. So when the display or when the internal code value tells the displays to change, it changes accordingly. So the way we find the internal code versus all these, and it looks like it is going to crash down on me, is we change each one to a different number. So we're just going to put 13 for the first one, 14 for the second one, 15 for the third one, and 16 for the fourth one. And we're going to see what they all turn into. They all turn to 14. So looks like the second one here was our internal code. So let's just change it to 15, just the internal code, and see if they all follow suit. And they did. So we don't need the display codes. So we're just going to go ahead and delete those. We only need to deal with the internal code. We right click on it, find out what writes to this address, which is also called a breakpoint on write. And yes, we want to attach the debugger. And let's go burn a bullet with that in play. And that gives us our opcode instruction. Now quickly, we see here we have the command move for the opcode instructions. And what it's doing, it works from right to left. It moves the value of the ECX registry into, this is what our address is. Okay, our address is located in the ESI registry. It's also using an offshoot of EAX times 4 at the 44 offset in ESI. We'll get into that later. I don't feel like getting into that. Just know that this is our address. This being in the brackets represents the value of our address, and what ECX is doing, ECX is what we need to manipulate. Is ECX is writing the new value into our address. If we shoot a bullet, it's taking one away. If we pick up ammunition, it's adding what we picked up to the address. So that's what we need to manipulate. So we just click show in disassembler, and it'll bring up our memory view and go directly to these array of bytes and this opcode here. So we know that this is controlling our ammunition. We just need to be 100% certain it's not controlling other things. And we frozen. This is my luck up one side and down the other. Let me reboot and see if I can fix this display issue, because I just can't keep having this happen while I'm trying to record. So hang on with me and let me go cuss for a little while, and I'll be right back with you. Alright guys, thanks for holding. Back where we left off, and this game probably is going to crash down on me some more. That's just the nature of the beast. You're going to experience things like this too. You can't get frustrated. You just gotta, just keep on going. That's why I always recommend save your work. ever so often, as much as you can, just in case, because things crash on you, cheat engine crashes on you, the games crash on you. It's just going to happen. But getting back to where we were, we have this for the ammo code. I've already explained how ECX is writing our ammo value. We're going to go ahead and jump into our script. We're going to click Tools to make sure that's highlighted first, and then click Tools, Auto Assemble, then click on AOB Injection. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And this is the address. This is the module, the address that we want it to jump to, or we want to jump from, actually. That's where we want the jump to occur for our script to take place. And we're going to name our array of byte that. So let me explain this, because some people have been having a lot of questions about AOB scans, so I'm just going to go through this quickly. There are more lessons out there, and I'm happy to direct you to them if you need more in-depth explanations. When you click Enable, when you tick the little box, the first thing it's going to do is going to read this, says, okay, I need to give an array of bytes scan and look for a module, AOB scan module. So it's going to scan the array of bytes you set for it to find. It's going to look for that all throughout this game code, all this game code. The computer ain't really reading this up here. That's for our benefit. The computer is actually running all this down here. All this down here is this in byte form. But this is what the computer's actually reading down here. So, and it's looking for these array of bytes, and it's looking for this particular module. And when it gets to those array of bytes, it's going to find it. It needs to be a unique signature. It's going to stop at the very beginning, right here, at that 89. It's going to find that 89 somewhere in the structure, and it's going to start right there. And it's going to look for an instruction on what it needs to do when it gets there. We named that location, this right here, ammo. So it's going to start our script and look for the label, which is already registered right here. We're registering that as ammo. So it's going to jump to that label here and read the instruction of what it needs to do. First thing it says, we want it to jump to code. Well, since we don't need to put any new type of code up here, since there is no comparison we need to do, we're just going to leave that as is. So it's not going to jump to new memory because we're not going to have anything there for it to do. It's going to jump to code. So it's going to jump here, and it's going to perform whatever we tell it to do. Right now, it's just doing the exact same thing. Here's a snapshot of what it is in regular memory. As you see, it's just a snapshot of all this. And that's what it's doing. ECX is writing the value. So we need to change that. We don't want ECX to write the value. We just want to send 99 into our address. We can do it two ways. We can take off the ECX and put in the hex value of 63. It's actually 63. You don't say 63, you say 63. And if you bring up your hex calculator, you put in 63, you see in decimal form, that's 99. So that's the hex form of it. Since we know it's a 4 byte, you can also do it this way. You can put in parentheses, int stands for integer, and you can put 99. That way you can put in the decimal value of it, and it's going to still write 99. Both will do the exact same thing. Or you could do it this way. You could leave the ECX in it, and above it, you can have another script, have it move ECX, or excuse me, I'm sorry, move a value into ECX 63, where it writes 99. It'll write 99 into there because that's the hex value, or you can do it 63. That's for a 4 byte, that means integer, okay? And you can have it write 99. All those methods do the exact same thing, so there is no one way written in stone. As long as you get it to work, that's all you need to do. So we're just going to leave it at int 99, or if that's confusing, we'll put it in its hex value of 63. All that equals 99. So what it's going to do here is going to replace whatever ECX is with 99. Then it's going to come down here. It says I need to replace the value that's in ECX to this address, to the value of this address, which is going to be 99. So it replaces the value. Right here, it allocates new memory, and that means it goes to a totally new location in the computer or in the registry that's not doing anything. It has nothing there, and it's just going to put a place for our code. Okay, we don't need 1,000 places. We only need 100 because we just got a small little code here. If we had a huge code, then yeah, we'd probably want to leave it at 1,000. These are our labels that we named here, that we have it jump to, and everything is just that everything that the computer can register to jump to. Each label is a specific operation. If we had something up here, new mem, say we've already registered basically that by allocating it and calling it new mem. When we allocated it, the first thing it wants to know is, what do you want to call it? We call it new mem. The next thing is, okay, well, how many places do you want me to reserve for that label of new mem? We only want 100. Okay, we've already named ammo up here in our AOB scan module. What's the name of the scan? Ammo. What's the name of the module you want me to scan? Max Payne 3. What's the array of bytes? Where's it located? At these array of bytes. So, okay, I'm going to start here when I find it, and I'm going to call it ammo. What do you want me to do? I want you to jump to code. Okay, what you want me to do at code? I want you to move the value of 99, hex value of 60 is 63, the decimal value is 99. I want you to move that and replace whatever ECX is with that 99. You'll say, okay, what do I do next? I just move that value I just replaced into the address. You got it. And that's what it's going to do. So we're going to assign that to the current cheat table. We're going to label that infinite ammo. I don't know why I do that. I do that a lot. Let's go back into our game and pray it don't crash me. We can go ahead and turn our code on. Go to story mode, continue. Let's see what happens. Now look at the lower right hand corner. If everything works, it should say 99, and we should be able to just fire and just keep firing our gun, and our ammo never go
I
down.
hoped I hadn't lost my edge, along with everything else.
And look, we have 99, so it does look like that's worked. So let me get to the part where we are going to do health. We see ammo's working. That's good. We didn't have to do any comparisons. We're going to go ahead and look for health. So let's go ahead and put that on all, and we're going to go for unknown value. Do a quick scan, and let's get to where we take some damage. Let's get back over here. Let me rescan that because the health just now popped in, so I don't know if it was readable at that point in time, being a tutorial. So we just did an unknown value search. Take some damage. Come on, y'all bad shots. Shoot me. There we go. Alright, let's get over here. We took some damage, so we're going to say decrease value. Like I say, this should be old school stuff. If you don't know if it's a 4-byte or a float or whatever, go to all. So we know our value's decreased, or we're hoping that it decreased. It could be the other way around. Now what I just did there was I have hotkeys set for different instructions. You can do that in settings up here in hotkeys, and these are all the scan types, and you can set each scan type to a different hotkey if you want without having to do it manually, and that's what I do. It saves a lot of time. And I saved unchanged value to a hotkey, and all I do is just keep mashing the button when I know my value is not going down or not moving at all, just to get rid of changing values. Let's go back, take some more damage. Ooh, you got me good that time. So pause our game. We took some more damage, so we're going to go back down. Looks like I got everything in hex here. I should have changed that. That's gonna screw everybody up. Is there a way I can change it while it's in the scan? I'm sure there is, but I just don't know how to. So we got to do that again. Damn it. So we're going to bypass this mess, and we're just going to go where I know it's at to float. Alright. But normally we just keep going with the all scan. You'll figure out it's a float value eventually. But I'm just going to go with float and save us a little time here, because now it's starting to piss me off. So what we're going to do is heal ourselves. So I'm going to heal myself. And the value that I started at, it increased. So I use a hotkey saying increased value. I know my game is paused. It's not increasing or decreasing. So I'm going to just say unchanged value until we weed it down some more. Alright, I'm going to heal myself again. Alright, I just healed myself again. So that means my value did increase again. So now I know it's not increasing or decreasing, so I can just hit unchanged value for a few times to weed some out. Let's take some more damage. There we go. Took him a while, but he hit us. So now we went down in value, so it decreased in value, and I'll do it manually. And you see we do have some that are still changing, so we can get rid of those. So we're now down to about 8,800. Alright, he did not hit us. The game is still running, so our health value is not changing, so I'm going to hit unchanged again. Dang, he's a bad shot. Finally, come on. Alright, so now we decrease value again, so we're going to hit decreased. I'm going to use my hotkey this time, and we're down to about 225, so we can kind of skim through here and see if we can find anything that might make a little sense to us. So let's just look around here. Not seeing anything right off. We still got a bunch of changing values going on, and we're just going to look around and see if we can just find something that makes a little sense. And I'm not really seeing anything as of right now. I see these two here, but I'm just not sure. But I'm going to put those on there. That looks about right. Everything else has some kind of negative value, 0. I don't think that would be it. It's possible. Now you do sometimes have internal codes that go off 1s and 0s, so don't ever discount those. But usually these long truncated values, that with that E and everything, that means that the exponent is just going on and on and on. Usually for 14 more places, that's going on for about 9 more places, and it's just more than Cheat Engine will show you. This exponent is going 38 more places. That's what that means. It means the decimal basis still has more numbers, and it's just not showing you all of it. So if you ever wonder what that meant, that's a truncated decimal place value. That means that these decimal places just go on and on and on, and it shows you about how many more places it's going. Alright, so we got 2 values, and let's just go ahead and heal ourselves. I'm going to say increase value, and you see now we're down to 30, and I'm going to put unchanged value, so that should just leave us with, and look, we're left with the 2 300s and these 1s here. Now it's possible it could be these 1s, but I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to freeze these 2 values and see if we take any damage. And look, we're not taking any damage. It's trying to, but it's not really doing anything. So I just need to figure out which one is the actual code. So I'm going to turn one of them off. And the top one is our internal health, because we're still losing damage. So let's put that back on 300. Let's turn that one on and see if we take damage. Pray that we do. Take the painkiller. And we're back. And let's see him hit me. And we're being hit like crazy. And we're not losing health. That's good. I'm not killing those guys yet because I need them. And I'll show you why in just a minute. So we need to find out what's writing to our address. I'm going to go ahead and discontinue the ammo for a minute. And we're going to do the exact same thing we just did for ammo. Let's bring that up. And before I go any further, I need to save what I've already recorded in case something happens and I screw up again. So bear with me. I'll be right back. Sorry, I'm having some major issues today. It keeps crashing on me, and I redo it, then it deletes on me, and I have to redo it again. So this is the third time, so hopefully the last. So now we need to find out what writes to our health code. So we're going to go back into, you can take a bullet. Oops, let me put on my infinite health so I don't get killed while I'm doing it. Finally. Man, y'all some bad shots. Alright, let's see what opcode it brings up. Alright, and just quickly before it crashes on me again, we see here that this is the address. I'm just going to go ahead and go into memory view with it. It's going to take us to the address that's writing to our health. The XMMO registry is writing to our health, which is stored in ESI at the offset location of 358. It's moving the float value into it. Move SS float value into our health. So we need to go find an offset because our enemies are also being stored there as well. So we're going to have to go register them. So we need to register everybody's health address. Right click on it, find out what addresses this instruction accesses. Take a bullet. Don't kill them, just hit them in the leg or something. There you go. And it brings everybody's address up. Go ahead and put that on float so we can see the actual values. Highlight them. Open dissect data with selected addresses. And we'll come to this structure here. And we need to find an offset that will differentiate us between us, our hero and our enemies. And I'll show you why in just a minute. So we're going to change group. This is us over here. We're going to put that in a totally separate group. It automatically puts them at their base address of ESI minus the offset. It does that for us automatically when we go that route. And we define new structure. Just click OK on every screen. And you'll see here our colors. And if you click View and Settings, it shows us what each of the colors represents. If you want to change it, I had to change my group different to black so I could see it better. Now you can change it to any color you wish, and we're looking for anything that is a group different. Save ourselves some time. I always recommend go through each one, write down what the group differences are. And I wrote down two different ones earlier. I wrote down 2D8, which is all the way down the list, and I wrote down E8. 101, and it's going to crash down on me again. No problem. I'm almost done recording this thing. I've had enough of it today. And fine, fuck you. Excuse my language, but I'm done with this fucking thing today. And we're just going to get on with our fucking hack, alright? So what I did is I used the offset of E8. I'm using an offset of E8. As you see here, our enemies are 10101. Both of them are the same. Our guy over here is different. Is just 101. So I wrote that down in my notepad of the offset of E8. So let me just redo that so I don't confuse anybody. E8, and then I put, well, I'm going to use my hero's offset, which I'm 101. So I'm going to make a comparison that if anybody is not equal to 101, I'm going to have their health continue to decrease. If they are equal to 101, I'm going to have it keep writing 300 to that address. So let's go on over to the memory view. I'm telling you, this thing's really fighting me today. I don't know what the hell's wrong. I got to go troubleshoot it later, but I want to get this vid done because I'm just getting tired of making them. I've had to redo it like 4 times, and now I'm just getting frustrated. Even after I just said don't get frustrated, but it happens. It happens to the best of us. We're all human. But while it's still up, we still get the correct code instruction and everything. So we're going to go ahead and write our script with that E8 offset. And we're going to click on Tools, Auto Assemble. And I'm not going to re-explain this because I explained this in the ammo A and B injection. It's doing the exact same thing. And I'm going to give you a more close-up of what's going on when I get this wrote out. I'm going to name this particular point, injection point health 1. And that's what it's doing. It's scanning the module with these array of bytes. So it's going to find that and start with the F3. In memory, and that memory is down here. It's going to find that array of bytes and it's going to start there in memory, and it's going to call that place in memory health 1. It's looking for this particular module and it's going to rename it health 1. First thing it wants to know to do is what it needs to do, so it's going to jump to health 1. It's going to see that we labeled it to jump to code, so it's automatically going to jump here, but we don't want it to jump to code this time. We want it to jump to this label. We want it to jump to new mem. So we're going to change that to new mem, and we're going to put our comparison script up here. The command for comparison is CMP. That means to compare. I need you to compare a value at a specific offset. And what we're going to do, I'm going to have it compare 101 at the E8 offset. And if anything is not 101, which these are not, it's going to jump to original code, and I'm going to show you how to do that. All that data structure was ESI, so we can actually use this right here, and we can just change the offset to, let's just take all that out, to E8. And remember what our guy was 101. Everybody else was different, so we put if it's not equal to 101 at that offset, we want you to jump if not equal, JNE. And where do you want it to jump to? We want it to jump to code, so it keeps taking away their health like normal. So we need it to tell it what we need it to do if it does equal 101. So we're going to tell it we do not want you to keep writing the value to decrease our health. So we're going to override it by going underneath it and put, we want you to replace the health value. This is the health value right here because it's in the brackets. We want you to replace the health value with 300. I don't know what the offset for 300 is, so let's clear this out. And I go to decimal, I put 300. And it's 12C. That's the hex value. And I said offset. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hex value is for 300, but we saw that it is 12C. Now you can do it 2 ways. We know that it's a float value because we looked at float. We can put parentheses float, and we can put the decimal value of 300, and it will write 300 to our address. Or we can put the hex value 12C like that. And what's it going to do? It's going to continue to write 300. Both do the exact same thing. It does not matter which way you want to do it. Just do it however's comfortable for you. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at its hex value. That's 300 in hex. And it's going to override the one above it and write 300. And you can go a step further and void it out by putting 2 slashes. If it causes some problems, then you can remove the 2 slashes and leave it. Now what I want to show you is we want to assign this to the current cheat table. Now you saw me put this just at 100 places in memory that it's going to allocate, and it's going to call it new mem at that location. So I want to show you what it's doing. Let's go ahead and assign that to the current cheat table. And let's go back to our cheat engine. Let's close these on down. All these debuggers, I think that's what's doing that. It's just having a hard time with it for some reason. And we can untick our infinite help, or excuse me, our address. I'm going to label that infinite help so we know what that is. We're going to save our work. We're just going to click on save. And what we're going to do is, if you take a look at infinite health, I'm going to show you what it does here. Okay, just quickly. At this area, this is the regular place in memory. It goes, the computer goes down and performs all this instruction, gets to our health code, and normally it would take away from our health. But instead, when we click on our cheat, we turn on the box. Look what it does over here. Did you see that? It created a jump. I'll untick it and it'll go back to normal. Look, see? That's it, normal. Then we turn on our infinite health cheat we just made, and it creates a jump at that location. Well, where's it jumping to? Well, it's jumping to our script. We can click on follow, and if you take a look here, this is our script we just wrote. It notates it so it can better understand it, but it's our exact same script. We're having it compare at ESI at the offset. Also, I call it a shelf location of E8, and we want it to compare to the value of 101. Jump if not equal. And where's it jumping to? It's jumping where we told it to. It's jumping to code. However, it assigned it an address, so it's jumping to that address that it assigned it, and it's performing it regular. And what's it doing if it's not equal? It's just moving down the list and putting in, look at that, 300, 12C. You see that? That's our script. Our computer just put it in a form it understands better. Okay? So we can go back to where we left off, and now we can go in there and test out our infinite health. And we're going to do that. I'm going to pause it while I bring everything back up, and we're just going to test out our infinite health and close it off and close it on down. Okay, so now we're going to go in here and try our cheats. Now, I do want to say about health that it is possible, especially in a lot of these shooter games, that you have two different opcodes controlling a health value. You have also maybe a headshot opcode. If they shoot you in the head, you're dead automatically. It just drains all your health out. So you would need to keep finding what writes to this address and actually get shot in the head and see what opcode is controlling that, and then go combine that with your other health script. Keep that in mind, okay? So, and I teach you how to combine scripts on my Alan Wake vid. It's on my channel. Go take a look at it. It's good stuff. I'll show you how to combine two scripts into one and to use just for one code. But right now we're just going to we're just going over the basics, and I'm just going to test out the cheats, and we're just going to close it up.
I hoped I hadn't lost my edge.
Let's go ahead and cut on our infinite ammo and infinite health.
It was time to choose. A nasty fall or a bullet to the head.
Looks like our infinite health's working. We were shot a couple of times. Let me kill this guy. He has a tendency to keep shooting me in the head. But we're not taking any damage, as you can see. And so we have infinite health and we have infinite ammo. Now, my version may be different than yours, so don't go by my offsets that I use for my comparison. Look them up yourself. You'll say, well, it didn't work for me. Well, it probably didn't, because you probably got a different version. You're probably going to find different offsets and things like that. So please don't go by what I did. I'm just giving you a basic rundown on how to find these things, okay? So, and that's basically it for this lesson. I just went over the basics. I hope I tried to answer all the questions I've been getting in this one vid. I had a lot of trouble with it crashing down on me, and so I'm sorry if I didn't get to everybody's question. But, you know, go back through it. If you miss something or still don't understand something, a lot of things were answered. I will leave those links in the descriptions for you for Sneaky Mopo's channel, his cheat engine tutorial vids. Make sure you go through the cheat engine tutorial, master it, and these games ain't going to be so hard for you. You got to go by the basics. You have to know and understand the basics before you can do any of this stuff. Okay, so make sure that you understand that. I'll put these links for you. And like I say, just keep on hacking, enjoy yourself. That's what it's really all about. You cheat the game, because I promise you, as you see, they don't mind cheating you at all. But you guys take care, and I will catch you again on the next vid. Alright, be good now.
That was the boss lady. Only this time she wasn't calling for more liquor in her cocktail.
I don't know why I did that, but